Welcome back. So beating the summer heat can be very tricky during these sticky months, but staying hydrated and avoiding sunburns is really important this time of year. So Trinity Mother Frances joins us with some healthy tips. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Okay, so we're happy to have you. So this morning it's really hot outside. We're sweating a lot. How do you stay hydrated when you're out in the sun all day?
You want to make sure that you drink plenty of fluids before you actually get the thirst mechanism. You want to drink and prevent yourself from getting thirsty, and making sure that you avoid caffeinated beverages and alcoholic beverages if you're going to be out in the heat.
Right. So how many glasses of water should we be drinking then?
Well, it's really depending on your own body, but you want to stay hydrated enough where if you're sweating a lot, that you're replenishing that fluid that you're losing, and that you're not becoming thirsty and losing too much fluid in the heat.
Got it.
I've noticed, because like myself, Kristen, and others are in air-conditioned buildings all day, then get to do some weekend work in the yard, that if I hydrate up before I start all that, I've been better off. It's the times, and just like you mentioned, I think before, I've noticed that when I didn't do that, I got in trouble, and then I got overheated, but I know it helped. Plus, you have to take other precautions. So, what about sun precaution? I mean, how do we protect on that?
Sunburns are a really big concern during the summertime, and you want to make sure that 15 minutes before you're planning to go outside in the sun that you put on a good SPF 30 or greater sunscreen. And most people don't apply enough sunscreen. Actually, it's recommended that for a full-grown adult, for all exposed areas, about 2 tablespoons of sunscreen is needed. Yeah, so that's quite a bit, and most people don't put on quite enough. And then wearing protective clothing, wide brim hats, and sunglasses that protect against the UV and UVA and UVB rays is important.
No baby oil or that.
No, I would stay away from that this time of year.
Exactly.
Okay, so you're supposed to wear a lot of sunscreen. Do you need to reapply it at any point?
Yes, every 2 hours is what's recommended, and then after you do any kind of swimming, or if you're sweating excessively doing yard work and such like that, you need to reapply it at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man, because I freckle and burn like it's my job. So.
Yeah, and fair-skinned people, people with red hair or light skin are more apt to burn out in the sun, and especially during those times of the day when the UV rays are the strongest, between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. You want to limit your sun exposure during those times, because it's really bad.
I don't know, we have different levels of heat exhaustion. There's some that's minor to the more that's kind of considered major. Can you briefly kind of go over some of those?
Can you say that again?
Like what's like from minor to major heat exhaustion? You start off with like what, a little heat exhaustion, and it goes to heat stroke. Is that the worst one?
That's right. Heat stroke's the worst. And symptoms that you can be aware of are, people will have definitely an elevated temperature. And when you get closer to heat stroke, you're going to become confused and become dizzy, maybe have a headache, some nausea, vomiting. And at that time, you need to seek medical attention, or get that person, in the cool area while they're waiting for, medical attention.
Yeah, and you just touched on what my next question I was going to say. Is there anything you can do before you get medical attention to help make it better, at least?
Yeah. Well, yes, you can. If they're out in the sun, move them to a shady area or into a cool area. Apply ice packs under the arms, and spritz with cold water and things like that to get them cooled off. Because it's the temperature that's the problem.
Oh boy. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Lots of good healthy tips. We appreciate it.